Morning, guys. Welcome to the live stream this morning. Camera has a mind of its own. Hey, kitty, what are you whining about? Huh? Welcome to the Cows and Coffee podcast this morning, live stream here on the Stony Ridge Farm. Got to zip on over here and move the cows. Grab your coffee. Cheers, guys. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Weekend doesn't really matter too much here. We're going to go on down here where the cows are. They're just right across the pasture right here. And we're actually going to be moving the cows. Oh, Starlink, don't trip over your Starlink, Josh. We're going to be moving the cows later this afternoon back over to this side of the farm. So happy cows this morning. Beautiful morning here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. Kind of looks like rain. We need the rain. Got a little bird migration going on. I hear the blackbirds down by the creek. You guys might be able to hear those in the background. Every year we get a little bit of a bird migration through this area, and it's blackbirds, and they come through in droves. I mean, like thousands and thousands of blackbirds. I don't know, did they come over your guys' place too? Let me know. As you come in the door, tell me where you're watching. Where are you at? Where are you watching from? Grab your coffee. Let's go have some fun. Cheers. Let's get a slug. Farmer strong, baby. That's a Carolina Farm Credit. Interest rates are insane right now, guys. Oh my goodness. Like 8.5% or something like that for land purchase. It's crazy. 32 in Boston by the harbor. Who said that? Dennis. Awesome. Boston, I think we talked about this one time before. I like Boston movies. I like movies set in Boston. It just seems like a rough place. Most of the movies I see are in the southy part of Boston, I guess. Those are the ones that I like. I think The Departed, is The Departed a movie from Boston? I think it is. So we've got some fencing plans in the future, and you'll see me driving by right here. There's a little post in the ground there. And right here, you'll also see I've got my fence post laid out right here for a gate. I'm starting a new leg of fencing on the farm. That new leg of fencing is probably going to take me about a month to build. Shot the first video yesterday. That was mowing the pasture, getting ready for the fencing project. And we got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. I drove about 8 posts yesterday. My corner posts and my brace posts. Also put new gravel down on this road yesterday. Also turned the compost pile yesterday. A busy day yesterday. Got some house guests coming into the farm about 3 o'clock this afternoon from the UK, which is going to be kind of fun. You'll see those guys on the live stream tomorrow morning if I can get them out of bed. But my good friend Steven's coming from the UK, and we're going to have some fun. Later this afternoon, we're going to look at a bull, a South Pole bull for the farm. That'll be kind of neat, except for the expense of the bull. It's over $3,000. However, we want to build these grass genetics in these animals. So if we're going to build grass genetics, then we've got to use our heads, and we got to get the right kind of cow. So good morning, Kathy, Mark, Daryl, Dennis. Boy, Miss Stony Ridge is working hard. Yep, she's been out here pounding in post. She's been at work. Deborah's here. Short Bus Mooner. Dennis Sweeney. Jimmy says no audio. It's on your end, brother, if you don't have audio, because I've got audio here. Refresh your page or turn up your volume. Good morning, Bill, Ron Wade in the house. Ron was just here not too long ago. I'm going to turn my compost when I get done prepping chicken breakfast. Video coming out tomorrow Going to be a pretty fun video tomorrow. I'm going to talk about exactly what I did to lose all the weight. Ron kind of seeing you in here. Ron reminded me of that. I am doing a video just about how I lost all this weight. I lost 80 to 85 pounds, guys. And it was so super simple. You'll get from top to bottom, left to right on all of that information tomorrow, how I lost it. And again, the video tells you, consult your doctor if you're considering changing your lifestyle. Be sure you're healthy enough to do that. Oh. Cheers. We're done with the coffee. So the cows are, we're going to turn the camera around here and show you where the cows are at. And I'll talk to you about what we've got to do maybe this evening or maybe first thing in the morning. I'd like to do it first thing in the morning, but tomorrow's Sunday and I don't want to catch the neighbors on the way to church. So the cows are in this paddock. They're going to come into here next. And then they'll be moving across the road into the pasture in front of the house. They'll be there for 2 days. So they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12 hour, 12 hour, 12 hour, 12 hour. And then they'll be moved back behind the house into that pasture. I had to order some fencing in order to accomplish that. On our chore list today with Miss Stony Ridge, we're going to take step-in posts and we're going to put them all around this whole section that's outside of the main perimeter fence. And we're actually going to run the cows in this section next time when they come across the farm. So they can do the grazing instead of me doing the mowing, which makes sense, right? Good stuff. So let's cruise on up and see what the girls are doing. All right. Beautiful day. So I got on the Google Earth and figured out from the creek bottom here where I parked the Kubota up to where the water is 40 feet of rise. So that's why I'm always out of breath. Oh, good stuff. Good morning from Minnesota. Boy, what's the weather like up there? Some of you guys are getting snow. Makes my weather look like Florida. Fall is here. Love the time. Love the farm. Thanks, Jeannie. Good to have all you guys in here. Weight loss is easy. Burn more calories than you intake daily. And knock off the process. So short bus mooner, that's a little bit of what it is, but my brother, it is not, or brother or sister, I don't know who you are, but it is not just as simple as calories in and calories out, okay? It's not that simple. It's metabolism. So it's not just as simple as calories in, calories out. If you guys know, approximately 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound. Okay, a calorie is a unit of heat. Okay, so your body's burning calories, burning heat. Well, it depends on your body. You have to train your body. And the way I did that was, well, you're going to find out tomorrow. The way I did that was doing a little bit of a longer fast before breakfast. In other words, and eating only in an 8-hour window every day. So the cows are very content. They had a good night of eating here in the pasture. Got Wooly Bully laying there. Look at all these dollar bills. Dollar bill on the ground. Dollar bill on the ground. Dollar bills. Dollar bills. Good job, girls. Morning, Mona. Good morning, Mona. How are you? How are you guys doing this morning? Is this Sweetie's mom? I think it is, Sweetie Senior. Hey, girl. Yeah. Good girl. Okay. Yep, we got some cows laying down. They say when cows are laying down, it means it's getting ready to rain. I wouldn't mind that one bit. So look at all these dollar bills the cows have left behind. Free fertilizer. Awesome. All right, guys, you ready to move? Excuse me. Are you ready to move? Woo! Come on. Come on. You guys may or may not be able to hear There's a timber crew working over here on the other side of the farm right now, and they're cutting trees. Come on, girls. Come on, everybody. There's better grass around the other side of the fence. Let's go. Woo! Woo! Let's go. This might be one of those days, guys. Hey, little lady. You're not so little, are you? You're laying down beside a big old pile of poopy. I just want to let you know, okay? Well, dang, Harold, I hate to hear that, brother. Harold said he'd got life flighted yesterday. That's no fun at all. I hope everything works out for you, man. Sounds like if you're watching this, it seems like they must have got to you on time, buddy. That fertilizer is not free. It is free. It comes straight from the sun to the grass, into the cow, out of his butt, and makes beef. It is free. It just takes a little work, a little time, and a little planning. So let's see if we can round them up. Come on, girls. Woo! Come on. Come on. All right, so they're just going to go right into here. And this field is cut in half. There's a line that goes right here. So we're actually going to move them in the morning to the new section of pasture. Go ahead and undo this. Just like so. Just that easy. These handles have really, these are from Strain Right, from farmfencesolutions.com. They have made my life so much easier without worrying about getting shocked. Come on, girls. So we'll just pull this wire out of the way and let the cows come at their leisure while we go check the waterer. Come on, girls. Nobody get hung in the wire, please. Mona, I hear you moaning over there. There we go. Okay, just getting everything untangled. Come on, Mona. Come on, kids. Let's go. Woo! Okay, so when we move them, they can come right through here, and they will. You guys will see that in a second. First, we're going to check our fence lines real quick. It's a little breezy out this morning. I do get the chicken poopies for free. There you go. Gerald says, good morning from Central Texas. What does this person says? Richard says, being diagnosed with sugar diabetes, I dropped 70 pounds by watching my carbs. Tell you, our diet here in America is not the healthiest diet, guys, and we have to think about that. Got to think about what you eat. You are what you eat. If you eat cheap garbage, you're going to be made of cheap garbage. So you got to think about that. All right, so we've got to open up to this waterer right here. These rocks are sitting, these are rocks that I dug out of the ground when I was running the trencher. That's why they're sitting there. They'll be scooped up soon. And once we get the cows out of here, I'm going to bring dirt in and backfill around that pad, that concrete pad. So we'll take this fella loose. This is a spring type setup versus the poly wire setup. I do like the springs. I'm happier with the springs than I am with the poly bungee. Okay, I like that. Very simple, easy to use. We'll see how it is for longevity. And now the girls are all coming. I say girls, girls, and boys. Multiflora rows. Don't want that in the pasture. Morning, Brian. Dude, I was supposed to call you back. I'm fired. That fix-it guy's in the house. Awesome. Morning, cows. That's Butthead. Morning, Butthead. Right on. Now, let's talk about the water system here. So the water tank is right there. That's a high spot, okay? It's about 20 feet lower than the water tank up on the top of the hill up here, the water storage tank. So all the water falls via gravity to the cows. There's enough water in underground pipe to keep the cows watered here for in the wintertime for at least maybe 3 days. Okay. Then we start getting into our water storage tanks. In other words, we've got a solar well system here on the farm. And if the solar well isn't working properly, meaning there's no sunshine for a few days, we have backup systems in place. So that's how all that works, guys. We have a mom and a baby. We're going to go down and see them. They're right in the middle of the field over here. The baby is almost as big as the mom, and the mom doesn't have enough sense to stop letting that baby drink milk. You got to wean off your baby. So we're going to see a calf with a face covered in milk here in just a second. Morning, guys. Guarantee, I bet that's 213. Hey, woo! Turn around here. Let me see your ear tag. Yep, 213. Always last. Always the last one. Let's see what mama cow is still letting her full-grown calf nurse. You're gonna have to cut the cord there, Mom. How cold will the waterers handle without freezing? The waterers should be able to go down to 0 without freezing. Those are frost-free water tanks. So we shouldn't ever have a problem freezing. Look at this cow, 207. Look at all the milk on her face. Mom, you got to stop that. Busted. Look at that calf. It's almost as big as its mom and covered with milk. Herd him on in there, Mom. Push him up the hill. Look at this calf. It's got milk bubbles coming out of his mouth. What do you think? Look at this. You are busted. You're so busted. How are you going to have a baby next year if you're still drinking milk? You're so busted, dude. Oh, that's funny. All right, that's the last two. Okay, we'll grab our wire here and go back and hook back up. Hopefully without getting shocked. This is the challenge. So I take the step-in post and I'll take my foot, push it over to the right just a little bit, bite into my wire, give it a twist, let the post come back, and that'll hold it in place. That is my system. Awesome. So, yep, we won't be moving until in the morning, which will make a better live stream tomorrow morning, too. I'll have should be 4 of us out here if everybody comes out and plays. All right. Might have to wean her, said Bill. Yep, made a mental note there. Which calf that was. I'm going to have to, there's a little thing you can put in their nose. It doesn't irritate the cow or anything, but it irritates Mom. And Mom will go ahead and wean the calf. So, sweetie. Hey, girl. Hey, sweetie. I saw you look at me. You want to come and say hey, don't you? Sweetie. I have carrots for tomorrow. Sweetie. Sweetie. I think I'm going to bring carrots out. How you doing, girl? How are you? Yeah. Somebody made a comment. That was so funny. Somebody made a comment about the cows being thin. If that's a thin cow, I don't know what is. I've had Mom still feeding last year's calf right alongside the new calf. Yeah, we got to fix that. We'll fix it. That calf is way too old to be out there drinking milk, pulling Mama down for the winter time. Mom's got to make better decisions, right? Wooly Bully's looking good. He's not as grumpy as he used to be. I don't know why, but he's not. Got some little woolly calf here too. Hey, 205. Looking pretty fuzzy. All right. There, 1000% was a skunk out here last night. There's Tammy. I do have a bag of carrots for Tammy. And I will be bringing carrots over here. We got to entice Tammy to come and be our friends. Can't you use a battery to energize the water long enough for a day? Michael Blum. There's no battery, buddy. Don't need a battery. We store water, not power. If you store water, you don't have to replace the battery. If you had a battery, you'd have to have a battery charging system. So, in other words, no battery at all. If we have more than 5 days with the sun not shining, we got problems. But I've got 2 wells on the farm, so we got backups for the backups. So no worries. Wean all of mine at 6 months and moved to a different pasture. Richard Wilkins. We're doing it a little different here on the farm, brother. Just a little bit different. Most people are banding their calves at birth. We're not banding at birth. We're just doing it a little bit different. So we're keeping the calves with mom, low stress. And it's tough for me to do the mob grazing that I'm doing with and be able to wean calves. Okay, so every mom out here pretty much, with the exception of maybe 3, has weaned their calf. And you can see the evidence on their face, just like that other calf we just saw. Tammy's pretty inquisitive this morning. Hey, Tammy, did you hear the word carrots? Did you hear me say carrot? Cattle looking great since I began moving 2 times a day. Exactly. Pasture's markedly better this time. Absolutely, man. If you look back at last year, there were bare spots all out in here. This whole ridge right here that we're getting ready to walk back to the Kubota, the whole ridge didn't have grass on it. So after unrolling hay all winter long out here, it's really recovered. Is it the best quality forage that known to man? No, not at all. It's not. But it's enough to sustain the cows as we build the pastures. And we don't need a Burger King fix. It doesn't have to be our way right away all the time. We just have to give it a little bit of time. We'll be dragging the pastures out here very soon. I don't know if I'll drag them this month or next month, but we'll be dragging out all these manure pats really soon. And what that does, so like you see this area right here, it's a big old area of nice grass. The reason that nice grass is in there is because there's like 3 manure pats right in there. So we've got to come in here with the drag harrow and drag all these manure pats out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, there's thousands of manure pats out here. The cows were on this section of grass about 8 days ago. Tammy wonders who you keep rambling on to. Oh, the cows are used to it. They're so used to my voice out here, actually, that if any strange voices come around the cows, they get a little bit upset. Morning, girl. Good morning. Freedom, how you doing? Wooly Bully is leaving next Friday. So one of the main reasons we're moving across the farm is so we can get Wooly Bully out of here. And we certainly will. Like I said, we're going later today to look at another bull, a South Pole bull. Most likely I'll buy that bull, and that'll be the bull for next year. We're going to start breeding, doing a little crossbreeding here on the farm, a little crossbreeding program. And Cindy's our model cow. So if we can get a calf out of Cindy and a South Pole bull, I think we're going to have some nice, beautiful, beautiful cows. There we go. Please video the dragging operation. You'll see it, Roger. And I've got a couple vids out there on YouTube. Dragging the pastures, harrowing the pastures. Here is one of my Stony Ridge farm friends. That's one rock for the day. Got my house guest coming, and they don't know it. They might be watching the live stream right now in their car. And they don't know it yet, but we're going to do a little bit of rock picking. Part of the romance of farming. So the guy that's coming to visit is from the UK, from England, and he wants to start a sheep farm. Okay? Well, sheep farm, cow farm, whatever. Part of farming isn't always romantic. So what he needs to know is we got to get out here. And some days it's simply picking up rocks. So we'll pick up about 4 loads of rocks from the Kubota, and we'll put them in various places that they need to be. And I've never seen a cow eat a pokeberry bush, but we've got one right here. 211. This goes to show you guys, you can eat it. Keep on eating it. If you put the cows on multi-species pasture, they'll eat everything, including broom sedge and including even a pokeberry bush. Same guy as last year. I don't know if it was last year, but it's the same guy that's been here before. Yes, sir, Michael. Is a South Pole bull a different color or black like your Angus? It is a brown bull. It is like a chocolate milk colored bull. This little girl right here, 216. What a pretty, if there's ever a pretty calf, hey, she's a pretty one. Curious as she can be, huh? What you doing? She won't let me get any closer than this. What you doing, girl? She's just trying to figure me out. I wish I could zoom in so you guys can see her eyes. It's funny to watch their eyes. So if you don't know it, the pupil of a cow's eye is elongated like this, okay? If you don't know that, and it's because the animals have to look across the horizon. So their pupil, where light comes in, where their vision sensors are, is shaped like that. And they're always scanning the horizon versus like a cat who has a diamond-shaped pupil, which is used to hunting and looking up and down and all around. So cattle scan the horizon, and they can't see very good. Much like deer, they just see movement. They rely on each other as a herd. Richard says, I agree, different practices work better on some operations than others. Yep, they do. And Richard, we would, I just don't have enough pasture really to separate the mamas and the babies just yet. So at some point, once I get this section fenced, that's why we got to build fence on 50 more acres. Once I get this section fenced over here, and then another very large section fenced over there, then I'll be able to separate my animals a little bit better. Then I'll be able to separate, I'll have a little bull herd that runs together, and I'll have a heifer herd that runs together. So we're just in the building stages here for sure. Awesome. Well, looks like we took our big old giant pepper shaker and shook out a bunch of cows on the land. Still got plenty of grass. When we move to the other side of the farm, we'll continue to have plenty of grass. From this point forward, every paddock all the way around will be rested for about 15 days. Are you still getting manure from the horse farm, says Bo. Bo, let's just talk about that. That's a little source of tension in my mind. So horse farms tend to have trouble getting rid of their manure. And I don't know, like horse barns, people that board horses and or have therapy horses, they tend to have trouble with consistent people coming to get their manure, right? Well, this place, this horse farm's 15 minutes away. I want all their manure from now until the end of time. And I told them, I'll take all your manure. Just call me when you're ready and I'll come over and I'll get loads of manure and I'll run them for the day. So it's worth it to me to spend the day running manure to the farm, put it in the manure spreader, and get it out on the land here and help heal my land, right? Well, when I made that agreement with them, I talked to them, it was a handshake agreement or whatever. I just said, I will be your manure guy. And I also talked to them about the John Deere tractor, and how I'd considered getting rid of the green tractor because I just don't need it, except with the exception of the backhoe, and we'll replace it with the Mini X. So that being said, I called them and called them and called them and called them and couldn't get an answer. And then finally I got a call back and they said, oh, we've been really, really busy. We just haven't had time. You don't have time to just text me and say, hey, Josh, come on over. But we got a huge pile of manure now. And if you don't want it, we're going to get somebody else in here. Really? No, I don't want it. And no, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Sorry. That's it. If you're not going to be honest with me, just got to be honest with me. That was quite frustrating. And I find you guys, here's a rant, Stony Ridge rant. I find that a lot of people are inherently unreliable these days. They don't do what they say they're going to do. Maybe they think I didn't do what I said I was going to do. But if I call you, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm making runs to the dump with stuff from the farm, and I ride right by their place. If I am calling them and texting them over and over and over again, and I told them I want to be their manure guy, why why don't you answer your phone? And why do you wait till the manure pile is so big that it takes me 3 days to haul all the manure when I could get it fresh, get one load, come in and take care of it? They didn't want me to use their tractor to load the manure. Well, I can't haul my skid steer all the way across town and load manure up. It makes it too expensive. So I can't haul my skid steer 15-20 minutes over, drop the skid steer, go back, get the dump truck, go back over. I can't do it. I couldn't do that. So it just seems different. Horses don't digest at as hot a temp as cows, so weeds can still proliferate their manure. Weeds will still proliferate the cattle's manure also. But it's only a weed if you think it's a weed. We've had a little bit of hogweed on the farm, but really that's the only thing. A tiny bit of hogweed, and there's one right over here, and thistle. Thistle, if your neighbors are feeding the birds and you have a cattle farm, then you're going to have thistles on your farm, and that's no fun. But yeah, you will have thistles on your farm, and I've got to nip those in the bud before they seed out, because buddy, you'll have a pasture full of thistles in a heartbeat. But yeah, so Doug, yeah, exactly. I guess they didn't want to get rid of it that bad. How about chicken manure? Dennis Hurt. Let's give you another story, Dennis. So there's a local chicken farmer here. I went over, talked to him. I want to be your manure guy. I want to buy all your manure off of your chicken farm from now on. From now on, that's it. I want to buy it all. He's like, well, how are you going to haul it? I'll hire a dump truck and I'll have them come over and get it. Probably be about 6 tandem dump truck loads of manure about every year, right? Didn't hear a thing in the world back at all. It's quite frustrating just to get manure. And you would think that these folks, I'm buying it. I'm buying the chicken litter, and I want to be your manure guy forever. I'm a good dude. I'm a handshake dude, and you can trust me and believe in what I say. And they don't call back. I don't understand it. So I don't know. I just don't understand it. Guess they didn't want to get rid of the manure that bad, says Doug. I just find that a lot of times people in this world don't do what they say they're going to do, and that's in my opinion, that's the measurement of the content of a person's heart, is that they do what they say they're going to do. So I don't know, and they tend to get away with it, not doing what they say they're going to do. It's upsetting to me. I don't own the chicken farm, so it's not my place to put blame. Maybe he's got another deal with somebody else. I don't know. With the horse farm, I have no idea, but I can't haul equipment all across the country in order to pick up the horse manure when it takes me, I'd put an hour on their tractor, and I bring diesel fuel with me. It's a little 25 horsepower tractor, and I top the tractor's fuel tank off when I leave. So It doesn't make much sense, does it? Literally probably burn a half a gallon of fuel. So it's called integrity, Doug. And it's something that you learn as a young person. But I think these people have integrity. Maybe they're just too busy to handle somebody like me coming in and taking care of stuff. I don't know. You can just turn me loose and I'll take care of business. Grandma always told me a person is as good as their word, says Herman. I guess so. I agree. So I don't know. Anyway, that's why I sold the big dump truck, because I thought I was going to have the big dump truck for hauling manure and stuff like that. Perfect truck. Okay, so I have 2 small dump trucks now instead of the great big one, because I just didn't want to maintain the gigantic dump truck. So here are the cows up there by the water. Well, let's see. Well, that's crazy. Keep up your manure. You know to bring fuel now. I've been hearing about some fuel issues, and I don't know if it's true or not. I guess it's all over the news that fuel prices are going to go up. And there'll be fuel shortages, I've heard. So today, as soon as we get off here, I'm hopping in the Unicorn Dodge. I'm filling up all the tractors on the farm. I'm going to go fill up my fuel tank. Make sure I've got fuel for the winter. So, yeah. Check our Mill Creek ground-driven manure spreaders. Troy Jones, they can tow behind your ATV and spread your own. There you go. Check out Mill Creek. Check out ABI Attachments manure spreaders. Those are the best. Absolutely the best. Heard no diesel by Thanksgiving. How on earth are we going to get food if there's no diesel by Thanksgiving? What are we going to do? Guys, buy local. I don't know. How are we going to do that? How are we going to get fences built? How are we going to do anything? How are we going to run the train? The train runs on diesel. I mean, I don't know, guys. We'll see. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's a scare. It's just this fuel crisis, always some kind of fuel something other going on. So I don't know. I don't know if I believe it or not, but I'll let you guys know in the morning when I go fill up my fuel tank how much it cost me, because I saw diesel fuel was over $5 a gallon again, and that's a 100-gallon tank, so we're looking at $500. Yeah. Yuck. So that's what they're saying. Less than 3 weeks of diesel left. Yep. You're putting the pressure on me, man. I got to go get diesel now. Well, guys, thank you all so very much for joining me here on the Stony Ridge. As you can tell, let me turn that off. As you can tell, I'm sidetracked on this fuel thing. I got to make sure I have my bases covered. I only burn about 110 gallons of diesel per year. That big tractor drinks up a little bit of diesel fuel, so I need to make sure that my bases are covered. Thank you all so much for joining me today on the live stream here on the Stony Ridge. We'll see you tomorrow here at my church on the Stony Ridge Farm, and we'll have some special guests, and we'll be moving the cows hopefully across the road first thing in the morning. So it'll be running, go. Awesome, man. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time on the Stony Ridge live stream. Guys over on Facebook, click that share button right now. Share this. Bam. Make it rain. Send them out to your friends and family. Let them know about this farmer you watch, this crazy guy in North Carolina who fusses about people not being honest. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. All right. Woo!